So folks, welcome back to the Hike Strong podcast. Now we're doing part 2 of my conversation with Hilary and Alexis, a mother-daughter team who trained independently, kept each other motivated, and summited Mount Kilimanjaro together. Now, if you recall, in part 1, we talked about how they decided to take on Kilimanjaro, how they fit training around real life, like graduation, work, and travel, and how their personalized programs built confidence before they ever left home. Okay, now in part 2, we pick up right where we left off, diving into their peak phase training, the milestone challenges that showed they were ready, and the reflections from the mountain itself, from summit day moments to lessons that stayed with them long after they returned home. And a quick note before we get started, stay tuned all the way to the end of the episode, and I mean after the entire thing. There's a bit of behind the scenes B-roll that's just too fun not to share. So now I hope you enjoy part 2 with Hilary and Alexis. Any thoughts on that or moving on? Any comments there?
No, I just think that that's a little bit of a reflection on kind of your coaching, I would say, technique or approach that you used with me. Was that kind of my life at the time, whether it was graduating from school or this family trip that we had planned. And I think that my mom spoke to this a little bit, was that you were able to adapt to whatever kind of thing in terms of just scheduling or kind of activities that we had going on in our lives, but we're also able to couple that with some gentle pushing, which I think is absolutely necessary because we don't really have a point of comparison to what we were training for. And so we were able to put our trust in you, that you pushed us when you thought that we needed to and encouraged us to push ourselves and instill that kind of motivation and from our own kind of stemming from ourselves. I think that you were able to, like my mom said, push us when we needed to, but in a way that felt encouraging, as opposed to making us feel as if we weren't kind of reaching our goals. So you kept us positive about it while also making sure that our motivation was consistent and, like I said, pushing us when we needed to be pushed.
I want to just add that, Alexis, you also had a full-time waitressing job at that time. So that's why your time was so limited, is because, for the summer, you had decided that you were going to do this full-time job and also fit that in with everything else. So the other word that I would use, in addition to encouraging, is empowering. I think you were empowering us to try to take control while you were really pushing us.
I agree.
All right, well, great. Well, thanks for sharing that. I appreciate it. And that's a good segue into the next thing. So something unique about you two was that I actually did not sense a lot of anxiety about your summit push, about your impending, trip. Did I read that correctly or no? But I didn't sense it.
Oh.
It was interesting.
Well, I'll speak for myself.
We're good at hiding it.
Okay.
I think we must be good at hiding it because I had a lot of anxiety until one specific moment, and we'll go to that. But also, we kept saying to each other, it's just about the journey. It's about, as I said in the beginning, it was about the journey, but we said to each other the whole way through, it's okay if we don't make it because it's going to be the altitude. We have trained, we've done everything that we can do. And if there's a possible way, we're going to make it. But we just tried not to focus on that, even though that's almost impossible not to do.
I also think that anxiety can be a really good source of motivation if it's framed correctly. And I think that my mom is very good at helping me to remember that. And if I was feeling stressed out about it, then go do some stairs. Use it as kind of self-motivation for wanting to train. Or when you're on the mountain, just trying to remind yourself to be in the moment.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's cool.
We made a commitment to ourselves and to each other and to you. And to, we made this commitment to do the trip. And now we're all in. We're only 4 weeks out.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. And I kind of bring that up because not sensing the anxiety from you guys was helpful because I used the numbers in your tracking charts to coach you. And I didn't have all the data points I needed. And that was very much related to the fact that, graduation, the trips and all that kind of stuff. And so that's why I bring that up. But there were actually data points that you both hit later, which I knew were very good signs that I can infer from. And I felt like you both were going to successfully summit. So I guess my main point on that is, while it's all well and good, the perfect scenario to have all the data, there are those things like those milestone challenges that really are good indicators of like, okay, this person's on a good track. I bring that up for you guys, just so you both know that, but also for the listener, just to know that it may not always be perfect in your training. I'm not sure how if somebody that wasn't working with you wouldn't replicate the milestone challenges, but I guess what you do is just plan some really hard hikes perhaps and certain consolidated events where you're doing a lot of stairs combined with a lot of treadmill and see if you can knock those out. And that could be something important to help you feel confident anyway. So now it's week 7. And Hilary, you nailed your 14,000 foot milestone challenge. And I mentioned earlier that I hoped that you'd reach it after returning from Europe. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
And you achieved the 4,000 feet by combining 1,300 on treadmill, 1,400 on stairs, and 1,300 on the stair climber, all in like one event.
Mm-hmm.
So this was a strong indicator that you were on a good path because all you had done the previous 2 weeks was bike. You also totaled nearly 6,000 feet of elevation gain that week. And I think you only experienced a little bit of knee pain afterward, but it subsided quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And this week was really involved the most work that you had done compared to any other week. So I don't know if you remember it, have any comments on the milestone challenge and just that week in general.
I do remember that week. I remember the milestone challenge, and I remember working up to that thinking I really need to get some more elevation in so that I can just get in better condition. But what I remember about the milestone challenge, and the reason why I think there's, I appreciate that they are treadmill, stairs, and Stairmaster. They have to be different modalities at different times. And you even said eat a little bit in between one or the other as you're going from one to the other and try to do them consecutively with not too much rest in the middle, almost like having a rest stop, 20-minute rest stop or something in a hike. I guess that's what now looking back, I feel like maybe that's what you were trying to replicate.
Yep.
I didn't really understand that during it, but I remember doing it. I remember being really just exhausted at the end of the stair climber. Like, oh my gosh, can I go up 10 more flights? I can do it. I can do it. But I did it. It was really tiring. And I was really proud of myself for doing it. And then I remember when we got on the phone and I said, I did it, at our weekly call. And you said, what, you did it? And I said, yeah, I did it. You were like, okay, great. I'm not worried about you anymore. And I was like, wait, you were worried about me? But, the very fact, I think that without knowing that these were my goals, it was sort of nice to not have laid out for me, well, if you can do these 4 milestone challenges, then you'll be fine. I just thought that, when you said that, I thought, oh my gosh, wow, I really did it. Like you got me there sort of holding my hand invisibly the whole time. And had you told me before the milestone challenge, if you can do this, then I know you're going to be able to do Mount Kilimanjaro. That would have been great, but it was even better not knowing. It was even better just doing it and then having you say, okay. And, I'm sure for every different people that threshold, whatever that time is where you decide, okay, I think they can do it, is probably different for everyone given the training that they're doing and the levels of the different types of training they're doing. But for me, that was my time for you to tell me it. I just remember feeling like that was really empowering and confidence building. And that was the moment that I thought to myself, okay, I'm going. We're doing this. I am going to be able to go do this hike. My knee didn't hurt. I've got all my tools. I got everything I need to be able to keep myself comfortable and in good shape. I'm going to do it.
Okay, excellent. Great feedback. And Alexis, in week 8, you knocked out your first and last 4,000 foot milestone challenge. So you did 1,500 on the treadmill, 1,500 on stairs, and 1,000 feet on the stair climber. Any thoughts on that?
I think similar to my 3,000 was that I was both surprised and impressed and excited. All those 3 things at once. I think at that point we were definitely getting closer to our departure date. And so I think the anxiety was running a little high. And so that kind of that helped to bring that down and just remind me that I had been training for this and that I was prepared.
In this week, Alexis, we discussed snacking and you seemed to, I kind of remember you leaning toward these Scratch Energy Chews. I don't know if you got them.
We did.
And if so, did you eat them on Kili? And if so, what else did you eat? What other snacks did you have? And this for both of you.
Scratch were my personal favorite. I just thought the taste of them was good. I think that they definitely did kind of help with the energy and they're just something that's easy to kind of have 1 or 2 and then put the package away and then have another one as opposed to like opening a whole granola bar. But I also think that Luna bars and RX bars were my personal favorite. Specifically the lemon ones. I don't know.
Okay.
But I think that also the important thing with snacking is that you're going to be kind of relying on these a lot. So whatever you pick, I think it's good to pick 3 or 4 ones that you like so that you can kind of rotate through because they're very helpful and you want to be enjoying them, because if you're having the same one all the time, it's going to get a little boring. So just keep a good rotation going.
Yeah, that's actually good advice. Hilary, anything on snacking that you had?
100% agree with everything that Alexis said. In addition, I also liked the Aloha bars.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Also, we have celiac, so the two of us. So for us to find high protein snacks it wasn't always easy, but we found a lot of things we like.
Yeah, I was talking with somebody else in another podcast and they loved this Scratch energy chews as well.
Those were good. Electrolytes too.
Yeah, which ones did you bring?
A whole host of them.
Scratch?
Yeah.
Or just different?
The Zinger ones as well were popular.
Zinger and Noon.
Yep.
Yeah.
You mean electrolyte mixes?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The LMNT. I used the LMNT one because it had the most magnesium.
Okay. All right. So something that I find interesting is, so you guys, aside from the Scratch, most of the bars you had were a little bit higher in protein than I would have thought you'd been able to tolerate in between your meals. So that tells me that you weren't that affected by the altitude. Yes. I mean, I don't know. What about your hunger?
Personally, I was pretty okay. I think that our guides did a really great job about reminding us that even if we weren't kind of ravenous when we sat down for lunch, that it was really important to eat anyway, because that food is the fuel for your body. And you get into kind of a little bit of a cycle if you don't push yourself, because the less you eat, the worse you're going to feel, the less you're going to be hungry, the less you're going to want to eat. And so as long as you can kind of keep in a normal intake of food, you can keep yourself from going down that path. So it's nothing excessive. It's just making sure that you would eat as much as you kind of regularly do every day in an elevated activity context.
Yeah.
To keep your body where it needs to be. And then I think other than the last summit day, I didn't really feel much at all.
Oh, are you acclimated earlier? Okay, that's good news.
I had the altitude does funny things to my digestive system. So I definitely had a little bit of that early on. But I think the key was continuing to eat. Again, I mean, you just have to eat. And the food was really good that they gave us. Mm-hmm. And we also brought a lot of snacks in case the food was not going to be good. But the food was great. And also, they're so good about helping you drink the water.
Mm-hmm.
Keeping track of all that was, I think, really helpful in keeping things moving, just digestion and all of that. We were lucky with the altitude sickness.
Yeah. I also think that I didn't realize so much how important not only water is in terms of like from a digestive standpoint, but also from a fueling standpoint. The impression that I got from our guides and what they shared with us about kind of fueling your body was that water is equally, if not more important, as kind of you're going through more when you're actively on kind of a day's hike, that is equally as important to be considering, because you're going to get oxygen through that. It's going to help to keep your muscles moving. So, I mean, the goal was 4 liters of water a day. I think that our guide knew better than I how many liters of water I had that day.
All right. Well, I think this is a good segue. I hadn't planned on talking about the guides too much, but I understand the Thompson guides are some of the best in the industry. Why don't you share with me just your thoughts on kind of the rapport you built with them, your connection, how you feel like they did? Because I do have an episode with Carolyn, who is the senior Kilimanjaro consultant, which we talked a lot about the guides. So I don't know, from your mouth, what are your thoughts about them?
I'll start by echoing what Alexis just said. They took such good care of us. I felt like they connected with each and every person on our trip. I think we all felt sort of special in that way. They made us each feel like they cared about us. The guides kept track of how much water we were drinking. They helped us keep track of that. They helped us keep track of how we felt every day, how we slept. We had to take our pulse ox every night. You know, the head guide eats with you every single meal. So he kind of was like part of our little family. And I would just say that our guide, Polite is his name, the first thing he told us was the thing that's going to get us up that mountain is positive mental attitude. And he's right. Keeping that positive mental attitude, keeping that positivity, like, okay, I'm going to eat that bar. I'm going to drink that water. I am not hungry right now. I'm not thirsty. I'm going to just do it because I knew it. That's what's going to get me to the top. I might be exhausted, but wow, the stars are beautiful tonight. You know, just keeping that positivity. They're really good at that. And they're also really good at knowing when you feel bad, kind of knowing how to help you. So it's okay to say, you know, I'm not feeling so great, or I feel kind of nauseous right now, or they take everything really seriously. They're not going to take you down the mountain seriously, but they take it seriously when you aren't feeling well. And if you tell them early, they will fix it. They'll do everything in their power to help you fix it. And many times they can. I remember a time when Alexis felt nauseous. You talked to them, and I'm not sure how it went away, but you were able to work through it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that the only thing I would add to that, it was very much a one day at a time mentality that they were very insistent upon in a really good way. We only were allowed to ask questions about what the next day held, no further in advance than that. And so if it wasn't about tomorrow, I'm not answering it right now. And I think that that was a really, just a reflection of how they kept us in the moment.
Okay, that's cool.
We had a little inside joke about the day that we do not discuss, which was summit day. So we say on that day that we do not discuss. Anyway, they were good.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So Alexis, we're kind of wrapping up here on the peak training, and then we'll get to little Kilimanjaro specific questions. But you stopped running at the end to avoid injury. And this kind of came up when we were discussing your final milestone challenge and your taper strategy. And you had the wisdom to kind of bring it up before I even addressed it, about just not running so you wouldn't get hurt. Any experience that you had that led to that decision, or just?
Kind of return again to the half marathon experience. But I think that one thing that I learned from that was the importance of tapering, and that the ending period of your training is both when you want to push yourself hardest and when would be probably the worst time to experience any kind of injury or setback. So I think that heading into that kind of week or that ending period, I was extra mindful of wanting to make sure that I was preparing my body adequately, but also not preparing so much so that I put myself at risk. But I think that was just in terms of like comparing the impact on kind of your knees or your legs of going on a 5-mile run or a 3-mile run versus a 3-mile walking just by nature is less of a risk. And so I felt like that was something that I wanted to kind of double check with you, but was a gut feeling.
So wrapping up the peak period, and then we'll talk a little bit about Kili specific. You had written to me, Hilary, when you completed the trip, you said, could not have done this without you. Thought about how grateful I was for all the training with you every step. Thank you. So anyway, that's always makes it worth what I do. What I do is fun. It's not easy in the sense that it's a big responsibility. I'm always dealing with people who have these lifelong dreams, and so I'm very confident about my approach. I always want to be sure that people can succeed. So anyway, I was so happy to hear that. I don't want to belabor this too much because we've talked a lot about training, but for both of you, what part of the training do you feel helped the most? Anything jump out? We'll kind of do some lightning rounds here.
I would say stairs for me. I think that's both what you emphasize most and what was most helpful. I think that going up is kind of a little bit more obvious that it really works the right muscles, but I think especially going down is really important because not only on the descent, but also there are periods every day where you're going to be going downhill because it's kind of up and down with a gradual overall ascent. And so every day we were using those same muscles that we built when we were doing the decline and the stairs. Because I know that when I was training, I preferred just the Stairmaster out of convenience. And then I think once you pushed me to do the stairs, I realized that going downstairs takes a very specific muscle. And it's one it is really important. Not only, like I said, for the descent, but also just every day of the experience.
Mm-hmm.
I would agree. Stairs and lunges.
Okay.
Lunge progression, like everything lunge.
Got it. Okay. Any anecdotes on your trip where you think your training helped you the most? Just like one anecdote for each of you. Any thoughts?
Every day.
Yeah, every day.
Going up the Barranca Wall.
Oh, I wanted to cover that.
That was definitely a place where I was really happy for the balance work and I was really happy for the lunge work because I knew that my muscles were strong enough. And when I say every day, I really mean it because, I brought with me a tiny little roller so I could roll out my muscles at night, but I wasn't nearly as sore. In fact, I think I remember saying on the trail at some point, like, I can't believe I'm not more sore every day. I'm not sore. I'm tired, but I'm not sore.
Mm-hmm.
So, and also I can remember one time, Alexis, this is, I don't remember exactly where this was, but there was this one place we were having lunch outside and it was up high. And there was this other little thing you could climb to go up and sit on the ledge. And no one else wanted to climb it, but you wanted to with me. So one of the guys is like, okay, we'll go. And we climbed up that. And I think that's just because we were in great shape. And I felt like, oh, we can do this.
Yeah, you brought up something important. That's one of the main things about the training is that when you get to your trip, that you're not sore from day to day.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we way overcome that. Yeah, you might be a little tired. That's totally normal. Then you recover the next day.
Yeah.
But you're not sore.
Yeah.
Very important. So I'm glad you mentioned that. But really, let's segue into the Barranca Wall. That's kind of, I think, between the 5th and the 6th day. That you had to scramble the Bronco well, but some people are really nervous about it. You obviously enjoyed it. What would you tell the listeners about completing that section? Any other thoughts on it or?
I think that that's the section where it's most important to be not only the day that you're in, but the very second.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, I remember I wasn't really looking very far up and I was certainly not looking very far down. I was focused on where I was next going to put my hand and where I was next going to put my foot. And kind of that's quite literally one step at a time. And trusting in your physical strength, trusting in the people that are there to help you around you and your guides who are very helpful in kind of instructing you kind of this ledge up to your right, for example. So I think really just staying in the moment and also remembering that hundreds of people have done it before you. Hundreds of people are going to do it after you. And it's going to feel so good when you get to the top.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And I think, for me, key was thinking, okay, I trained for this. I trained for this. Like, I can do this. This is not technical. So having the confidence and knowing that I'm physically strong enough, had to get my mind there, like Lexi says, be right in the moment and trust the guides and have trust in the process of climbing it. But, having the confidence to know that you are strong enough to do it.
Yeah. Okay. Makes sense. Okay. Now we're actually truly going to go into a lightning round.
Okay.
So we're going to go quick.
Yep.
Okay. This will be fun. The first question is not really, but let's see how kind of quick you can make it. So we're going to start with Alexis. Okay. I'm going to tell you who's starting. We're going to kind of alternate, but I'll help you remember. So Alexis, what was your go-to tent ritual at night?
Getting the hot water bottle that they gave us every night, sleeping right with it next to me and putting my earplugs because my mom snores.
Okay. Hilary, what was your go-to tent ritual at night?
Hot water bottle.
Okay. All right. Next question. Hilary first. Which item in your duffel that you never used?
Oh, the crampons for the snow.
Okay. Alexis?
Yeah, same thing. Crampons.
Okay. Alexis, which item you couldn't have survived without?
Oh, sunscreen.
Okay. Hilary?
I just have to say my little hot cocoa packets that I would have had half of one to the coffee that they brought us in the morning. It was like dream drink to wake up to.
Okay. Hilary, who woke up first each morning?
Alexis did.
Alexis, would you agree?
Yes.
Okay. Alexis, who took the longest to get ready?
My mom.
Yep. Guilty.
Hilary, you agree? Okay.
Guilty.
All right. Hilary, who was more competitive about their pace?
Oh, I don't think there was a competition about the pace. If anything, I'd say Alexis was more competitive.
Alexis?
Yeah, probably agree.
Okay. All right.
She was always ahead of me. Put it that way.
And they don't, so that listeners know, the guides are really good. They actually don't let you go fast.
No. We were always.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter. You kind of have to, because you'll start to get altitude sickness pretty quick if you move too fast. All right. So Alexis, who cracked the first joke when things got tough?
Oh, my mom. 100%.
Hilary, you agree?
I agree.
Okay. Hilary, who cried first?
Oh, I think maybe it was Alexis.
Alexis?
I think it also probably was me.
Okay.
But I only remember you crying one time.
All right. What was it? Was it like...
It was 3:30 in the morning on summit day where we were up at breakfast and it was the only day she felt nauseous and altitude sickness of the whole trip. And then she was freaked out that she wasn't going to be able to make it up. And it was just overwhelming. But then she quickly recovered, truly overwhelmed. And we'd only had a little bit of sleep.
Oh, yeah. No one sleeps really very well that night.
No.
I'm sure your guide helped make you feel better in the morning.
Totally.
All right, Alexis, who needed the most coffee?
I think maybe myself. I need caffeine.
I think she does. Yeah, I think she does.
Okay. All right, Alexa. Okay. All right, Hilary, one word that describes your daughter on the climb.
Oh, tenacious, determined.
Okay. Alexis, your mom?
Inspiring.
Okay. All right, Alexis, a phrase that you repeated to yourself when things got hard.
Pole pole. Just go slow.
Okay. Hilary?
Hakuna Matata. That was part of our chant. We had a group chant.
Okay.
One team, one dream. That's the other one.
Okay. Alexis, hardest thing to explain to your friends back home.
What the stars look like. I've never seen anything like it.
Hilary?
Just the sheer amount of wonder that I had every single day looking out at the world from every perch that we would get to.
All the different vantage points. Yeah.
It was the wonder.
Absolutely. That makes sense. Yeah. Hilary, what did you learn about yourself that surprised you?
I don't know if I learned anything. I think I was reminded by how much I really enjoy the outdoors and being on a trip like that, where I really didn't know what I was getting into and I didn't know the people really that I was going with other than obviously Alexis, but just how much I loved that and the camaraderie and the story that I have now carry inside me.
Alexis, anything?
I think similar, how much I enjoy being in the outdoors and how much I think it's something that I'm going to try to incorporate into the rest of my life. And then also I think what I said before, a little bit of kind of that being completely disconnected and being at times alone with your thoughts can be extremely therapeutic.
Okay. Alexis, what did you learn about your mom?
I learned that, well, one, she's probably the strongest human I know physically and mentally. And also that I think seeing her interact with our guides and everyone else on the trip, she's one of the most encouraging and kind people I know, even to people that she never met before.
That's sweet. Hilary?
Oh, that's really sweet. What did I learn about Alexis? Well, I know you pretty darn well. But what I loved seeing in action with Alexis is the encouragement that she gave to others and also her willingness to engage with every single person on the trip. She was learning everybody's name. She knew everybody's name, not just the other trekkers, but the porters too. And her willingness to just really embrace every single moment, whether she was exhausted or not. She would stay out there in the freezing cold and enjoy those stars and take pictures. And I don't know what she was doing out there. I couldn't even stand. She was truly drinking it all in at every moment. I loved being able to witness that. And I love being able to be a part of that and to share that. And yeah, I mean, I also learned how organized she is. I don't know how she got up ready so damn fast every single morning, but she's really good. I already knew she was organized, just not that much.
All right. So this is the last part of the lightning round. It's all training related, and then we're wrapping it up when we're done. Okay. All right. So real quick. So Alexis, favorite or least favorite workout from your Fit for Trips plan?
Favorite, probably Stairmaster or Stair Machine. I would say least favorite was balancing.
Okay. All right.
Oh gosh. Let's see. Favorite? Probably favorite and least favorite are the same. It's probably the stairs.
Yeah, fine. Okay. All right. Fair enough. All right. Hilary, which exercise do you still do now?
That's a great question. I still do the lunges.
If any.
I do the lunges. I do the balance work. I have every intention. Actually, I decided I'm going to buy myself a treadmill and do the uphill walking. And I'm going to keep the stairs also in my rotation.
Okay. Alexis, anything?
Lunges.
Lunges. Okay. Alexis, what song was on your training playlist the most?
Oh.
Or one you really liked?
Honestly, I was a podcast girl.
Okay. All right. Hilary.
It's a song. That song. Donna Summer, ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough. That one. I love that song. It's like, it just gets me going every single time.
All right, perfect. All right, 3 more. How did you celebrate completing your milestone challenges?
Oh,
if any.
I don't think I celebrated enough.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, it's having a good snack and sitting on the couch for a little while.
Yeah, I think that's what I did too. I think it was so much a part of the journey. It didn't feel like a cause for celebration. I think to me, it felt like, okay, we just checked that big box. Like, that's good. What's next?
Yeah, I wasn't sure about asking that one, but I thought, maybe something. Anyway, we're going to wrap it up there. That's it. You guys made it. Very good. Give yourselves a hand. That was very ambitious. And we covered base, we covered peak, and some memories on the trip. So I hope I helped you memorialize this forever and ever. And I'm so grateful that you guys gave me the opportunity to work with you. And I just think it's so cool that you guys, as a mother-daughter, got to experience it. And I hope that others listening will do the same. And I'll look forward to hearing from you guys when perhaps in the future there is a bucket list item that's on your list. Alexis, you're busy and now life's just getting rolling for you in New York City. You're not going to have a whole lot of time off, but
I have some ideas.
Okay. All right, good. Well, don't you make it a surprise. And anyway, so all right, well, let's just wrap it up. Let's stay in touch. Okay, guys?
Yep.
Definitely.
Thank you so much, Marcus.
Okay.
You're the best.
Oh, it was my pleasure. Thank you so much.
This was the best. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
That concludes this episode of the Hike Strong podcast. I'm committed to keeping all of the episodes for free. All I ask is that you subscribe to the podcast and leave a review. And don't forget to share this podcast with your friends. My goal is to build a vast community of hikers with the confidence to crush any local or global trail. I hope you will join me in this endeavor. So until next time, train, hike, repeat, and as always, I'm here to support you every step of the way. Okay, that was good. Nailed it. Done. All right. So what do you think?
It was fun.
That was fun. It's hard to come up with some of these answers sometimes.
Yeah.
I know, it really was
No,
hard.
you did good.
But it was fun.
I appreciate you digging deep and really trying to figure it out.
I hope we can inspire others.
I think you will. I really do. I think I've done this many times, and the little things that you guys were saying, they were really more poignant than you may have thought as you were talking. I was like, this is really helpful for people.
Well, I hope so.
So, no, it was awesome.
Well, thank you. I mean, truly, if it wasn't evident by everything we've just said, we truly would never have been able to do this without you or all of your advice and training. So thank you.
Yeah.
Well, it was my pleasure. You guys were awesome.
I know for a fact that I wouldn't have been able to make it up without the training program that you put together.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have done a lot of walking. I would have never known. And as I said, I actually think, the question about what do you keep in your workout regimen, I think for someone like me at my age, I think that the stuff that you taught me about balance and lunges and all that with stairs, then that's like life stuff. Like if you got to keep doing that stuff. And the more you can do it at an older age, the better.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I agree.
More than a bicep curl. Those are good too, but
yeah, no, Alexis doesn't know that yet.
No, not
when
yet.
She gets your age and my age, she'll remember this and she'll be like, yeah, keep up with the balance, keep up with the lunges.
I gotta do the balance and the lunges and those damn stairs.
You know what I mean? Because what I'll say is this. I do in-person training too. And I have a lot of 60 and 70-year-old clients. All of my clients, they can still do lunges and their peers cannot.
Yeah. That's the thing.
They can't do it. They can't get off the ground. They can't do these things. And so particularly if you want to continue to do adventure, just keep moving. So Hilary, you're on the right track. Alexis, you have a good model to follow. So bye guys. Take care. Thank you. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Marcus. I can't wait to hear it.